And now, of course, our weekly chat with Chris Deasy about all the latest film news. We'll be taking a look at Zootropolis 2 and its surprise appearance at Bluewater, now dubbed Zoowater. We'll also be looking at the upcoming film releases, including Wicked for Good and the new Five Nights at Freddy's film. And obviously, Chris is here with me now. So, have you heard about this Zoowater that's happened at Bluewater?
What a brilliant connection. I will never think of Bluewater the same way again now.
Exactly.
Or this film, indeed.
Yes, so what have you heard about this film? I mean, has it been long in the running, of course?
It has. I've seen the posters for it, and because that's always the excitement when, even months before, even when it's not even the season when the film is meant to come out, you're looking in anticipation. I mean, I know we'll come on to Wicked in just a minute, but often you can wait months. And, you know, it's almost as though those films sometimes that seem to cross seasons, you know, a Halloween film or a late summer movie or a Christmas movie, often intertwined. And it's almost as though when the films finally come out, it feels like the fruition of many months of excitement. And I mean, with Oppenheimer a couple of years ago, I think I saw the trailer something like 10 months before the film came out in 2023.
Yeah, and the first one was very popular. I mean, it created a lot of buzz on social media. Do you think maybe the second one is just going to be just as good?
Well, I think when you have a ready-made audience, then in a way, it's also why we have so many sequels and so many remakes to films, because there's going to be an audience, particularly if it's a family film. Toy Story, which we've talked about on this show many times before, it's always going to have that crossover appeal. And I think that's why some filmmakers are really wary of remakes, because commercially they might be successful, but artistically it's much more the same. That's not to say it's not going to be a good movie, but in a way it has to also maintain the original audience. It won't disappoint them, so that people won't then regret having gone to see this sequel.
And people might think because it's a cartoon, it might be for kids, but the original contained a lot of dark hidden themes, prejudice, stereotypes and racism. Do you think that will come into the second film, and do you think then that it is a film for kids? I
think it's exactly the same with Inside Out, which the second film was really good, and a lot of people who are neurodivergent have talked about how, and adults, not just children, have talked about how that film has meant so much to them. So I think that you're right. There was once a time when it was thought, oh, an animated film is for children. But then again, you think of Disney films and how many parents, as well as the children, are very keen. I mean, I'll be going to see Wicked tomorrow at the cinema. I know that's not an animation, but you know, you'll see as many parents in the audience as you will children.
And speaking of Wicked, we've got the Wicked for Good being released. I think this is the part 2 of the whole franchise, really, of the 2 films. What do you think of the first film? And again, do you think this one is going to be as impactful as the first?
Well, if one of my daughters is anything to go by, we booked our ticket, I think, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. So we've got a performance tomorrow evening, all booked, straight after ballet. Now, we saw Wicked last year, and I've seen on the big screen The Wizard of Oz even since then. And of course, this is, if you like, a cousin of the Wizard of Oz movie. But so exciting. I mean, even the songs, I mean, talk about earworms. I mean, singing all those, you know, wonderful songs from the Wicked musical. I don't know what this film will have in store, but the buzz has been phenomenal. And of course, also, it won and received many Oscar nominations last year. So this is a film that the critics are taking really seriously as well.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had all the different red carpets, we've had celebrity interviews with them. What do you think about all the buzz about this? Do you think that, you know, it's going to be as good as the buzz makes it seem like it's going to be?
I think it will be, because they obviously made the 2 films at the same time, but you can't have part 2 without part 1, and that's the difference, I think, with what we were saying about the Zoowater film that we were just talking about, because there they obviously said, right, okay, well, that's a standalone film, but a sequel is inevitable. Here, I remember watching Wicked last year, and it's 2 hours 40 minutes. This one's about 20 minutes shorter. And then there were some people in the audience around me, and they said, oh, I didn't realise it was in 2 parts, because it said, you know, part 2 will come out in a year's time. And I think there was almost a sense of both excitement but also disappointment among some people in the audience. And I saw the film more than once, because you have to wait a whole year to see how the story develops. So I think that's part of its commercial appeal. You get 2 movies out of it, but they are 12 months, or to the week actually, apart.
Yeah, and so people obviously will be very excited to sit down and watch this. And compared to the original stage production in the book series, do you think maybe people will be disappointed if it diverts at all from that? And what would you say to those people? Maybe it's a necessary change?
Personally, I think it is a necessary change, because that was always my concern with things like the Da Vinci Code. Wonderful novel to read, very exciting, a page turner. You translate that into a film sometimes, and it feels you either go down the by the numbers formulaic path, which feels almost redundant, or you can do something that feels more cinematic. And I think in this case, I've interviewed people on my radio show as well who've said exactly the same thing, that the Wicked film, they know the musical, but the film really surprised and excited them because it went one stage further. It didn't just feel like a difference actually would be the Colour Purple movie that came out a year ago that really disappointed people because they said it was great on stage but didn't translate well into a film.
Yeah, well, we'll have to catch up and see what you think about it after you've seen it.